Happy New Year. It's 2025. Got a little bit older. Hair got a little longer. Yeah. Got my Bubba Gump shrimp hat on. Yeah. So what are we gonna do today? You're probably wondering. I've got less than an hour before a really bad cold front blows through. So what I thought I would do is make the intake on my truck suck in even more cold air and make it a little bit louder. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Remember, the camera's over there. Keep forgetting every time. Alright, so pasta diesel. No, I don't have the isolators or insulators. I don't have the engine cover. I've never had them. I bought the truck like this, and I don't need them. I live in South Texas, and it's about to go below freezing. If you can hear the wind, sorry. Anyway, so I was talking about doing an air intake upgrade. It's not really. You're not gaining any power per se, but I think you are taking away some of the turbulence in the air. Way down in here is an intake baffle. It's like this crenulated tube inside the tube, and it's got a bunch of holes like you would see on the inside of a muffler. And I'm one of those people who actually like to hear my turbo whine, because I don't own very many vehicles with turbos in the first place, and I like noise. I mean, wouldn't you? Anyway, the whole point of it is we're going to end up only needing two tools, really. 5/16 socket and flat tip screwdriver. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to be loosening up this clamp here and this clamp here, pulling this intermediary hose out of the way, and hopefully being able to get to that baffle from this side, because this is the operating side that I have to pry up under to pull that thing out. And other than that, from what I've heard from other YouTubers or other people who own these, you get a little bit more noise, but it's not annoying, and I don't want it to be. I just want to tickle my ego a little bit and hear the whooshy sounds a little bit more. That's all. You know, it's not a performance gain or anything like that from what I understand. But let me go ahead and get all this off. Just this one here, both of them are 5/16. I'm going to squish this tube in a little bit, pull that out, and hopefully show you how to get that out. Sit tight.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, so I went ahead and took off this intermediary hose too. It made pulling this one out easier, this guy here. And essentially, all I did was I grabbed it and I pulled counterclockwise, and it breaks loose from this side here. This is the guy we're talking about, this little guy right here. And if you look carefully, right about there's a little notch, and you have to wedge your screwdriver in between and essentially just break it loose. Not break it, just pop it loose, and this whole thing comes out in one piece. And that's really it. Kind of wish I did it before and after for sound, but you're probably not going to notice it. These trucks are, what I say, as quiet as a cathedral. So you probably wouldn't hear the difference from out here. And it's going to be very barely noticeable on the inside, but it is noticeable from what I've been told. So anyway, let me go ahead and get this out, and I'll show you what it looks like.
More moments later.
Okay, I don't want to say things escalated quickly, but they sort of escalated. It looks like someone tried to do this before, or somebody working on this truck had a hard time getting this out, or they were squirreling around with it or whatever. Anyway, there's a little nipple thingy here. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. It just clips in right there. But I went ahead and pulled this off. It made getting this out a little bit easier. But yeah, it looks like there was activity here. Someone tried to do this before me. But I got it out. Essentially, once you get the tube out, there's this recess here that this rode on. And I just I wedged 2 screwdrivers in here and pushed down on this, and eventually it just popped right out. But as you can see, this is the baffle I'm talking about. And if you look down this tube, it's that wide, right? That wide. But with this end, it's slightly more restricted. But this is supposed to act like a muffler. So I'm just gonna take this out and leave it out and run it like this. Put that back on, put all the hoses back on, and that should be the end of this little job. There's nothing to this. This is a 1 Samuel L job. Like a little bit of frustration trying to break hoses loose from the clamps or whatever, but you know, just take your time and be patient. It'll be fine. I'm gonna clean all these up before I put them back on too. So we'll see you in a bit.
15 minutes later.
And done. Now, if I didn't have to film, I could have did this whole thing in probably 10 minutes, but I had to stop, make film, think of what I was gonna say, yada yada. Missing baffle, all put back together, semi-cleaned up, and that should be it really. So, anyway, this is a quick and dirty Pwnery Tinkers intake baffle removal, or how to get more whooshy sounds out of your turbo. Anyway, if you hear the wind, sorry. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're regular here, welcome back. Either way, check out my other playlists. See if my other interests may be of interest to you. Like I said, these things are pretty quiet. If I recorded the sound under here, you wouldn't notice. If you're inside the car, you have to have a really good ear. But yeah, if you like it, hit the old like button. Maybe share it with somebody who wants to make some more whooshy noises. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Dirty pasta diesel.
The boy does have good hands.
Good head. Bad taste in car.
Mother